Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I felt worse on Saturday, to be honest. Like, I thought we played pretty well. It's like, you know, did make some free throws in the second half. First half, that kid put on a performance. I've been doing this here for a while. I'm not sure that I've seen a kid play that well, you know, against me in one half of a game. You know, so hats off to Hall. He was unbelievable. And it was hard to really game plan against what he does because he's, you know, the only thing we could have done better with him is like get back on defense. There was, we missed, I think Bashir missed a free throw and we did not run back, and then he's now loose in the open court with Adam Miller who fouls him, you know. So a guy that's got a game going like that, you just can't afford to have breakdowns in transition defense and give the guy more points. But you know, credit to him, he shot it great. He's 28% three-point field goal shooter on the year. He's 4 for 5 in the first half. So, you know, great performance, individual performance. And I knew they were talented. I knew that they could score. I knew they scored 80 versus Arizona, and they've had other games like this. They could really put points on the board if they get going. So it was a tough night. It was tough. It's a hard loss.
I'm guessing those were the shots that you preferred in the final minute after the timeout, and then the second.
Well, I mean, no, I wanted to see if we could get Adam a three, and he didn't get the three initially. They guarded the play we ran well, and then from there, you know, he's hit some big shots for us, and you know, maybe we could have gone empty side ball screen with him and with JQ and get him rolling and maybe getting something more towards the basket there, but I trust him. He's made a lot of big shots. As far as the other one with Bashir, I just don't. I mean, I said to him, I'm not sure why he didn't like reload his shot at least, or you know, to catch it up here and then just let it go. That's not something like a shot that I've seen him take. So yeah, that wasn't the shot that I hoped he would. And now, if he caught it naturally and went up into his shooting motion normally, then I would say, yeah, that would have been a fine shot.
Is it frustrating one of the best three-point shooting performances you ever had over here to come and lose again?
It's just frustrating because like we've been a top 30 defense most of the year, and like I feel like a dam that has holes in it, and you're just, you know, one day, you know, the offense isn't showing up for a period of the game, or you know, in this case we couldn't stop them from scoring, and we've been doing that, you know, pretty well most of the season, and we had a good night, you know, on offense for the most part. Maybe a couple of bad turnovers, but you know, that's why I feel like pretty good about how we played. We just didn't win. You know.
What are the sluggish reasons for defensively, particularly in the second half, just things like from a cohesive standpoint, just things that go your way? Is it just like chemistry? Is it just like gameplay? What
I mean, they have talented players. You know, the guy Hall, you know, we managed to get him out of the game for a period of time, and I think we made a run to take advantage of that some. But they've been doing the same stuff. I mean, their guard Johnson is very physical, and he gets downhill, and he really does a good job of creating contact. You know, there was a lot of contact under the basket when Bashir had an offensive rebound. There was no whistle there. That was a critical possession for us on offense. And it was reciprocated the other way when Johnson was jumping into our guys. He was getting the call. So it's just, that's how it plays out sometimes down the stretch. But you know, Curry could shoot it. You know, I was more concerned about Curry and Johnson at halftime than I was Hall, because like, I thought those guys would be more aggressive, and we held them down good in the first half, and I knew they would try and be more aggressive, and they both made a lot of plays on offense, especially Johnson down the stretch.
It was another game where your defense, when you turned up the pressure there, got some turnovers and got a couple threes, and kind of was that spurt that got you back in the game.
Yeah, I felt like we could get almost any shot we wanted if we just were patient enough. The offense was not the problem. It was really just our lack or inability to keep them off the free throw line late in the game. You know, we didn't come over and help the guards as they drove it. We couldn't get someone to come over and challenge it. I mean, JQ had a few blocks, but you know, we couldn't do enough defensively. That was the problem. If you guys have another question or two, I'd be happy. I don't want to shut you out.
How impressive has BJ been just with Joe Son's availability and how aggressive he's been playing the last couple of games? How impressive have you been?
Yes, I liked what he's doing, scoring. He's doing great. He's really, coming into his own that way. He's put more time in. I've noticed him working since before Colorado, just getting extra reps, working on his shot, doing different things. I liked his passing tonight. He might have missed a couple guys, but he had a nice lob to JQ, and he's going to draw a lot of attention. And I think that's an underrated skill that he has that he's got to keep going to, and his ability to find his teammates, and he did that nicely with a lob to JQ at one point. JQ was fantastic too tonight. Just his, what he did offensively, the efficiency, his using his physicality in certain matchups to score around the basket, and just guarding multiple guys. He had to guard like multiple positions like usual, and 5 blocks and everything. So fantastic for him tonight. Thank you guys.
What about Son? Did he just aggravate that at the end of the game the other night, or?
Joe Son is a little bit of a pain in the ass because he is such a competitor that I've had other guys that if they, stub their toe, they might be out for a month. This guy, he was begging me to play, like even before Colorado. He was getting his treatment, trying to get back to the court. We had the Kansas game. He said, "Coach, I'm playing on Saturday." He looked pretty good in practice, but it's different practice and playing against frickin' Baylor, on a Saturday night. So, we're going to be more patient with him. When he's ready to go, then we'll bring him back.
So saving him from himself, so to speak, then?
Yeah, I mean, he appeared to be moving well enough, but then when you put him in that type of game against the type of athletes we're playing against and the level of teams we're playing against, it's just not. He's not there. He doesn't have the explosiveness, and that might be back by Friday, or I don't know. When I see it and I know it, then we're going to do the right thing for him, and then he'll be back.
Coach, with back-to-back close losses at home, how do you go now when it comes to executing down the stretch and making sure that when you're in those late game situations, you do a better job of getting better looks?
I don't know if we could have done any better against Baylor, to be honest. I don't know if there's a team in the country that could have done any better in late game situations, how we were able to tie that game and put it into overtime. Now, if you want to say that we didn't make some shots in overtime, that's a whole different ball game. Like, we had clean looks in overtime too, and we just didn't make them. I don't know if that's fatigue based because guys are getting tired. In this game, yeah, like we didn't get stops, and I guess our execution could have been better on offense. Thank you.